Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Emergency responders were called to the scene of a tractor-trailer accident shortly after 10:30 this morning on Interstate 81. This was the scene when Wyln arrived at the accident. Two tractor-trailers collided, and initial reports stated there was entrapment. It happened on Interstate 81 near mile marker 146 near the West Hazleton exit. At this time, there's no word on how it happened or how many were involved. A jury began deliberating this afternoon in the federal case for Sean Christie. And that jury found Christie guilty on all charges. The 28-year-old of McAdoo was accused of threatening to kill President Donald Trump and other elected officials. Christie represented himself in the Scranton courtroom this past week and took the stand yesterday, where the judge stated most of the evidence Christie presented was inadmissible. He was charged in July of 2018 for making the threats, then fled the area and eluded police for 3 months until he was finally captured in September of 2018 in Ohio. The jury deliberated for nearly 6 hours today before finding him guilty on all 11 counts. A drug-suspected felon from Hazleton is on the run. The city's police narcotics division issued an arrest warrant for 30-year-old Joel Rodriguez Correa after he sold fentanyl on different occasions during a narcotics investigation through August and September of this year. He was charged with 2 felony counts of delivery of a controlled substance and 2 felony counts of criminal use of a communication facility. Correa is described as a 5'11" Hispanic male with short black hair and brown eyes, weighing 185 pounds. Anyone who sees Correa or has any information on his whereabouts is being asked to call 911. Hazleton City Council wants to scale back a 5% tax increase that's included in its 2020 budget proposal. Council is in discussion with administration behind closed doors to possibly reduce the proposed tax increase that's included within the city's $13.8 million spending plan. Administrators argue the proposed increase is smaller than the increases built into Hazleton's Act 47 recovery plan and would make up for revenue that's fallen behind projections for 2019. The 5% proposed increase would cost the owner of a home with a $75,000 median assessed value an additional $22.50 in real estate taxes next year. An Edwardsville woman faces child endangerment charges after her 5-year-old daughter was found alone. A neighbor found the child of 28-year-old Teray Washington Walker alone on a sidewalk outside the Roosevelt Street apartment complex. A welfare check of the family's apartment found it in deplorable conditions, with dog feces throughout it and rotting food in the kitchen. Walker was arrested and charged with child endangerment. She was taken to prison for lack of $25,000 bail. The child has since been taken into protective custody. Governor Tom Wolf was joined today by Attorney General Josh Shapiro and other legislators to sign bills in support of survivors of childhood sexual abuse. House Bill 962, sponsored by Representative Mark Rossi, abolishes Pennsylvania's criminal statute of limitations on childhood sexual abuse and extends the time that victims have to file civil actions. House Bill 1171, sponsored by State Representative Tara Toohill, makes conversations with law enforcement agents exempt from non-disclosure agreements. House Bill 1051, sponsored by Representative Todd Stephens, increases penalties for failure to report child abuse by a mandated reporter. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce held its monthly Women's Networking Luncheon this afternoon. WYLN's Mike Murphy has more.
The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce held its monthly Women's Networking Luncheon this afternoon at Bonanza Steakhouse in Hazel Township. Members of the network gathered not only for lunch, but also for a chance to win raffles and for women of the network to introduce their businesses. Vice President of Marketing, Leanne Falabelle, thinks the program is a positive for the businesswomen of Greater Hazleton.
This is our last luncheon for the year. We will kick off again in January, the last Tuesday of the month, and then we will continue to meet every other Tuesday. We have different topics that we provide. The Businesswomen from throughout Greater Hazelton are encouraged to come. We have a guest speaker at each of the programs, and it's a nice lunch and informational session for all the business ladies throughout Greater Hazelton.
The guest speaker for today's Women's Networking Luncheon was attorney Stephen Seach of the Seach Law Offices. He is also a board member of the Greater Hazelton Chamber of Commerce, along with Hazelton Can Do. Today, he shared some of his knowledge he obtained through being an attorney.
So I'm really honored to speak before the Chamber of Commerce's Women's Networking Group. It's a wonderful organization for all women in the Greater Hazelton area. Today, I've been invited to speak about end-of-life planning, wills, living wills, and powers of attorney. And also, once you've been appointed, what do you do as an executor or an agent under a power of attorney?
As the luncheon drew to a close, Leanne Falabelle had some words for those thinking about joining the network.
I think you'll walk away feeling like you learned something new, you've met some new contacts, and it's a really great networking opportunity.
In Hazel Township, for WYLN News, I'm Mike Murphy.
Thanks, Mike. In national news, the U.S. Capitol and its office buildings were briefly evacuated from concerns of a small aircraft flying near the restricted area. Officials say the evacuation was ordered as a precaution shortly after 8:30 this morning, with White House personnel being ordered to stay in place. The evacuation in Washington, D.C. was lifted after half an hour this morning. Well, coming up on WYLN News, the president signs to make animal cruelty a federal felony. Plus, we'll have the details on a concert coming up in Freeland. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow calls for some showers, high of 49 and a low of 36, but it should hold up into Thursday for a cloudy Thanksgiving and a little sunshine this weekend. We'll be right back.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazelton. Everything to make your house a home.
Hi, I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-through lane. Don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazelton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
Life is full of partners. Your health deserves a partner too.
President Donald Trump signed a bipartisan bill that making animal cruelty a federal felony, saying the measure would help be more responsible and humane stewards of our planet. The PACT Act, or Preventing Animal Cruelty and Torture Act, expands a previous law passed in 2010. The bill, co-sponsored by State Senator Pat Toomey, passed Senate earlier this month and was signed by the President Monday. Under the PACT Act, a person can be federally prosecuted for crushing, burning, drowning, suffocating, or impaling animals or sexually exploiting them. Those convicted would face federal felony charges, fines, and up to 7 years in prison. With Trump's approval, federal authorities can go after the wrongdoers with federal jurisdiction and will not be bound by state laws. Dog owners are urged to be on the lookout when purchasing a new or renewal dog license online. The Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture's Bureau of Dog Law Enforcement warns of a fraudulent website selling the licenses over the internet. The department said that PA Dog License.online is selling fake Pennsylvania dog licenses. Officials tell dog owners not to use a search engine to make the purchase over the internet. Instead, type in licenseyourdogpa.pa.gov into your browser's address bar. If customers have any doubt about a third-party website, they're asked to call the PA Attorney General's Bureau of Consumer Protection at 800-441-2555. Luzerne County Drug and Alcohol Director Stephen Ross has resigned effective November 22nd. County Manager David Pedri announced Ross's resignation in a press release Monday, but did not elaborate on any reason for his departure. Ross spent 19 years working in the county agency, which also covers Wyoming County. He was promoted back in 2016 to the Drug and Alcohol Administrator position and previously worked as the agency's fiscal officer. The agency's Deputy Administrator Ryan Hogan will be the primary point of contact during this transition. After 30 years of retail service, AC Moore will close its remaining retail stores, which includes their Dixon City store. According to a news release Monday, today's environment makes it difficult for the retailer to compete and operate nationally. AC Moore opened its first store in Morristown, New Jersey back in 1985. The specialty retailer is known for its array of arts, crafts, and floral merchandise. 40 stores remain open at this time, with some locations set to merge with Michaels and reopen under the Michaels name in 2020. Well, you can kick off Christmas right off the bat this December in Freeland at the annual community-wide Advent Christmas Songfest. Songfest takes place Saturday, December 1st at 2:30 p.m. at the Freeland Presbyterian Church on Front Street. They'll be singing quite a number of Advent Christmas carols for everyone's enjoyment.
You're very cordially invited to come and bring somebody with you. There's no charge. If you want to bring a dessert, that's fine. We're going to have goodies after the service. The wonderful organist, Janet Hartman, is going to be playing, and Tina Lisbinsky from MMI is bringing her string group, and she is going to be playing also along with Janet.
They've also got Frank Ballin in the lineup, bringing along his Festival Brass Quartet to play a few Christmas numbers as well.
We are so pleased and honored to be playing for what turns out to be the 7th annual Freeland Community Advent Christmas Carol Songfest. Our brass group will be playing the Hallelujah Chorus, Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, and a medley of Christmas carols. Also performing will be the MMI singers under the direction of Dan DeMelfi.
And returning to lead the Christmas choir is Jack James, who says he's honored to be asked back again this year to lead and sing a Christmas solo of his own.
I'm grateful that and honored that Reverend Hugh Holt and Frank Ballin has asked me back. It's a pleasure to do, and I believe that it gets everybody in the spirit of the season, in the spirit of Christmas. People are asked and encouraged to sing along with the Christmas carols, so it's a participation event, and it really is heartwarming to attend, and I hope everyone is encouraged to come out and join us.
The event is free to the public, but a free will offering will support the food cupboard and Rotary Christmas baskets. So, mark your calendars for Saturday, December 1st at 2:30 p.m. to come down and join in on singing some Merry Christmas carols at Freeland Presbyterian Church on Front Street. Coming up on Sandy Run's News Choice, we talk winter travel on this Trooper Talk Tuesday in Community and You. Plus, if you're getting a real Christmas tree this year, the governor has a message on buying local. Stay with us.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas.
But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones. Wyln has strong ties to the community, and it's committed to important causes like the American Cancer Society and Helping Hands Society telethons. Wyln's commitment to Pennsylvania continues with the broadcast of Hazelton's Fun Fest Parade and the Christmas and St. Patrick's Day parades in Wilkes-Barre. In the summer, we broadcast the Weatherly and Giants Despair Hill Climb. And throughout the year, we provide important community services through the broadcast of town meetings, school board meetings, election night coverage, and other community events. Wyln, we're your local network.
Welcome to Trooper Talk Tuesday here on Wyln. Everyone, I'm Gary Perna. I'm joined by Trooper Anthony Petrowski from Pennsylvania State Police, Hazelton. And believe it or not, winter is right around the corner, whether you like it or not. And we have to be prepared for driving in winter weather, ice, snow, even rain too, as we get here into the end of fall, beginning of winter. So we want to make sure we are prepared, our vehicles are prepared. Now, obviously, many of us already have broken up the long sleeves, the sweatshirts, the jackets, maybe even hats and gloves for some of those colder mornings. But it's also important for us to make sure our vehicles are prepared as well going into the winter season.
Yes, you always want to prepare for the worst, hope for the best. So check your vehicles, check the tire tread on it, make sure they're not worn down too much. Number one, it's illegal. Number two, if it does snow, it can be tough to travel on. Make sure you have enough windshield washer fluid in your vehicle. Make sure you have some sort of flashlight in there in case you did break down, it was nighttime. Some blankets. Unfortunately, living in the Hazelton area, we have two major interstates. Yeah. And sometimes when we get those major snowstorms, some of the interstates get shut down because of car accidents. So you want to be prepared in case you do that. Always have some food in your car too, maybe some protein bars, things like that. In case you do get stuck there for a while, you are well prepared.
Great things to just remember. Keep a little bag like in your trunk or in the back of your SUV that is that in case of emergency bag that has everything in it. So and it has happened. I mean, we've seen where snow squalls move in and it's a whiteout and then everything's at a standstill for hours.
Right.
Again, we are at the top of a mountain. We live in Northeast Pennsylvania, so it's bound to happen. We also need to be prepared, and we also need to know what lays ahead of us out there. So making sure we know where we're going, and if it is bad out, to leave extra time.
Right. Allow yourself extra travel time, especially if it's going to be bad weather. And with that being said, make sure you have enough gas in your vehicle. Because if you do get stuck on the side of the road or traffic's backed up because of a crash, you want to make sure it's cold out. You want to make sure you can keep your vehicle running. Make sure you have enough gas in your vehicle.
Some great tips. You also, one of the things, winter happens, and on the security side of things, the first thing all of us want to do is, we gotta start our car and get it warmed up before we get in. Most times you have the clickers now for your cars. You can start them up, your car's locked, don't worry about it. Some people don't have that yet. They go out, turn the car on, go back in their house to do stuff as they wait for the car to defrost. Just a little security thing people need to worry about.
Yes, unfortunately, this is the season where people will actually steal vehicles because it's warming up and the doors are unlocked. My suggestion is have 2 sets of keys. If you're going to go out and start your vehicle warming up with 1 key, lock it, and this way have another set of keys so you can reopen it when you come back in. Unfortunately, there are people out there who would do that, and we want to keep everybody safe.
So as we get ready for the snow, we know it's gonna hit us at some point. Hopefully, maybe not until next year in 2020. But if it does hit us early, just be prepared. Make sure you have everything you need. Have that little bag, with some extra stuff in there in your car, blankets, hoodies, what have you, some extra snacks like that, just in case you're stuck on the side of the road for a prolonged period of time. Because we've seen it. We've seen 81 and 80 be shut down for some stretch of times until things get cleared. So just be prepared as you're traveling here in Northeast Pennsylvania for when Old Man Winter decides to show up. Thanks for joining us here on Trooper Talk Tuesday. We'll see you next time here on Wyln.
CARES is a local and family-owned agency dedicated to providing exceptional services for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout Pennsylvania. CARES specializes in day and residential services, respite, home and community, behavior supports, and chaperone vacations. At CARES, the participants are the VIPs. Now contracting life-sharing and respite providers, CARES, empowering individuals to maximize their opportunities and potential in their community.
Is your computer not running as good as when you purchased it? Good news, take it to Hazelton's only retail and repair shop, Hazelton Computer Incorporated. They will get it running like new again. Located at 50 West 23rd Street in Hazelton, next to Churchill Auto Sales.
Having an intimate gathering and don't want to wrestle in the kitchen? Call Whitetail and ask about their food-to-go catering menu. They'll do the cooking, you relax and entertain your guests. Call Mike at 570-535-6123. Sports on WYLN is sponsored in part by Grand Central, Service Electric Cablevision, Third Base Luncheonette, Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships, XJ Kowalski, Barber Ford, Barbush Automotive, Two Italian Guys Pizzeria, Arc Electric The Wire Guys, All American Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau, Tri-County Business Machines, Harry's You Pull It, Valley Country Club, Sacco Chiropractic, Ralph Cameron, Pete Kessellicka State Farm, John's Family Restaurant, Falvella Law, Bonanza Steakhouse, Krugel's Georgetown Deli, and Penn State Hazelton.
Planning on purchasing a real Christmas tree this year? Governor Tom Wolf has a message about buying local, and our Julie Stefanovic has tips on picking out a healthy tree.
It's just about time to trim those Christmas trees. And while you're out searching for that perfect tree for your home, it's good to think local. That's why the Wolf administration is encouraging Pennsylvanians to purchase local trees this holiday season. The governor was recently joined by the Agricultural Secretary, Russell Redding, and his wife to shop for a PA-preferred tree at McCurdy's Christmas Tree Farm in Dillsburg.
Especially at this time of year, this is a really important thing. I mean, I take this personally. This is a kind of thing that families do around this time of year, pick out a tree. And as Mr. McCurdy showed, Pennsylvania, we grow some very fine trees.
Pennsylvania is home to more than 1,400 Christmas tree farms where owners and employees work diligently all year round to grow and care for them.
What folks do in agriculture is do things from feeding us to giving us Christmas trees, things that really are important to us.
Real trees are also a renewable and recyclable source that is good for the environment.
At the same time, you've got a natural product that you're buying as part of the ecosystem here, and provides habitat throughout the year and great ground protection.
Yeah.
So many benefits. I mean, but most importantly, just come out and see your neighbor, right? Buy a Pennsylvania tree and support Pennsylvania agriculture.
There are some tips to follow when picking out the perfect tree. First, be sure to measure the space in the home where the tree will go. When out shopping, check for a consistent green color. The branches should bend without breaking. Also, check the tree for pests and insects, and be sure to give it a good shake to make sure a large pile of needles does not fall off. And lastly, make sure you keep your new tree watered properly to make it last throughout the holiday season. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovic.
Thanks, Julie. My family and I get ours at Ecology 3 up in Orangeville. The Nuremberg Community Players invite you to come out and have a meet and greet with none other than Santa Claus this upcoming Saturday. Santa will be at the Nuremberg Community Players Theater at 283 Hazel Street from 2 until 4 p.m. to read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" and take photos with the children. The event takes place this Saturday, November 30th. You can also enjoy a sneak peek of the Nuremberg Community Players' upcoming production of Frozen Jr. Refreshments will be served, and each child who attends will receive a goodie bag. So, to start out your holidays right, head down to Nuremberg to spend some time with Santa. And that's the news. Remember, you can get news updates on our WYLN News Facebook page. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, here on WYLN TV.
Paying for more than you need? Don't overpay. Let Service Electric help you choose the speed you need, from 25 meg to 1 gig. Get high-speed internet for only $44.95 per month with free installation. And add cable TV for only $5 more, including 54 channels and award-winning coverage of local high school sports.
Krugel's Georgetown Deli has been voted Northeastern Pennsylvania's best craft beer selection several years running.
Krugel's is your craft beer headquarters, and gift baskets are available for all occasions.
Krugel's is home of the Crowler. Fill your Crowler up in their tap system and keep your favorite beer fresh longer. Krugel's Georgetown Deli, Wilkes-Barre Township, right next to the Big Cow.
Stop in and play Keno or other Pennsylvania lottery games.
Check them out on the web at georgetowndeli.com.
A sense of self-worth, of purpose after war. It can be found by having the courage to learn new things and experience new adventures. We develop confidence through accomplishment. If you're a combat veteran struggling with the scars of war, consider getting into the outdoors. The outdoors has really helped me cope, and it just might help you too. Get out of the house, experience life and the healing power of nature.
Watch Staff Sergeant Olson heal the wounds of war through outdoor activities. Watch Warrior Summit Outdoors.